Welcome to Story Time with Dan King. In this episode of Story Time, I'm going to be reading a story. Well, technically it's not a story. It is, as with my first story time, the Wikipedia write-up for a film. Specifically a film I never intend to watch, but that my friend Edward first told me about. Okay, so this is Story Time of a Serbian film. This video contains descriptions which some younger viewers may find disturbing. Milos is a semi-retired porn star who lives with his wife Maria and 6-year-old son Peter. His brother Marco is a corrupt police officer who is attracted to Maria. Maria is curious about her husband's past and concerned about the family's income. Layla, a former co-star, offers Milos a starring role in an art film directed by Vukmir, an independent pornographer who wishes to cast Milos for his powerful erection. This is just disturbing already. Having already caught Peter watching one of his films and unaware of the details of Vukmir's film, Milos is hesitant to participate and continue with his career, but accepts in order to secure his family's financial future. While meeting Vukmir, Milos passes a bald man and his entourage, regarding them warily. Shooting begins at an orphanage. Bit of a weird place to film something, isn't it? Oh well. Where Vukmir feeds Milos instructions through an earpiece given by Vukmir's driver, Rasa. Whilst a film crew follows him, Milos sees a young girl called Jeka be physically abused and scolded by her mother, who has disgraced her deceased war hero husband's memory by becoming a prostitute. It's all wrong. In a dark room, screens show Jeka seductively eating an ice pop, while Milos is filleted by a nurse. Then Milos is instructed to receive it from the mother while Jeka watches. Milos refuses, but is forced to continue. Marco later explains him that Vukmir is a former psychologist who has worked with children's TV and state security. Vukmir meets a hesitant Milos afterward to explain his artistic style, showing a film of a woman giving birth to a newborn, which is then raped by Rasa. In what the director this is just vile already. The director calls this newborn porn. It's all wrong. And it probably killed the child and definitely broke bones if it didn't. The horrified Milos storms out and drives away. At a road junction he is approached and seduced by Vukmir's female doctor. A bloodied Milos then wakes up in his bed sometime later with no memory of what has happened. He runs to the now abandoned set and finds a series of tapes. Viewing them, Milos discovers that he was drugged to induce an aggressive, sexually aroused and suggestible state. At Vukmir's manipulative direction, Milos beats and rapes Jeka's mother before decapitating her to induce rigor mortis and later where was I? Wait, and later, a catatonic Milos is raped by Vakmir's security. He then watches footage of Layla voicing concern for Milos, only to be restrained as her teeth are removed. A masked man then enters the room and suffocates her during fellatio, which I believe means oral intercourse, though I'm uncertain really. The footage continues as Milos is led to Jeka's home, where an elderly woman praises him for killing her mother and offers Jeka as a virgin commune. Milos refuses and escapes through a window to an alleyway, where he watches a girl pass by as she is being pursued by a pair of thugs. He begins masturbating and is assaulted by the thugs before they are killed by Rasa, who then takes Milos back to a warehouse with Vakmir. At the warehouse, Vakmir's doctor administers more drugs, after which Milos overpowers her, sticking the syringe into her throat. He is then taken to a room to have intercourse with two hidden comatose bodies under a sheet. As Milos is guided onto one body, the masked man from Layla's movie enters and begins raping the other. Vakmir then reveals the masked man to be Marco, his victim to be Maria, and finally that Milos is raping Peter. An enraged Milos, finding out that he'd been raping his son, lunges at Vakmir and slashes his head against the floor, initiating a brawl during which Maria bludgeons Marco to death with a sculpture. What? I thought it said she was comatose. This doesn't add up. Milos wrestles a gun from the guard and shoots all but the one-eyed Rasa, who he kills by sticking his erect penis into his empty eye socket. A dying Vakmir praises Milos' actions as truly worthy of film. Milos, having recalled his actions, including locking his wife and son into their basement before passing out earlier, returns home to find them. He and his wife come to a mutual understanding that he, his wife, and child should die together, so the three gather in bed and embrace before Milos fires a fatal shot through himself, Peter, and Maria. And that's tragic. Sometime later, a new film crew, including the bald man from earlier who worked with Vakmir, enters the bedroom with the dead family. One of the security begins to unzip his trousers, and the director, the unexplained bald man, tells him to start with the little one. So, that is it, and it has been described as the sickest film of all time, and now I have told it as a happy story. Good night, children, everywhere.